Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 35th remote edition of Folk You. 35, that's kind of astonishing. And this is a singer-songwriter round robin that is actually, we're in our 21st year. We've not been remote for those 21 years, but ever since the pandemic, we've been remote, and I've been keeping it remote, although we may be returning to the actual in-person setting in the fall. I have like a date in mind, but so much to say at the top of the show here really quickly, and probably the first thing I should do is introduce the performers with me tonight who are gracing this virtual stage. To my on-screen right, Nick Bognar. And Nick is coming from the wilds of California for this, which is one of the benefits of doing the digital version now, number 35 and counting. And to his immediate right is Tom Compton, who is coming from the greater Chicagoland area, which is where I am. Your erstwhile host is planted. And so very quickly, I'll just tell you what my version of what a round robin is, because there's some slight variations on it and slight differences to the name, but I like the round robin name. It's a chance for songwriters to get together and to perform material, stuff that they have written on their own or stuff that they've co-written in something approximating the way that they originally wrote the song. So a stripped down version, whether it's guitar, piano, or something else. The only real rule is no covers. As I've been saying, I think almost every month now, it's interesting to hear what a songwriter chooses to cover because it says a lot about what influenced them. But with the relatively short mini sets that we have set up here, to do a cover would take away from being able to hear more of your material, which I want to hear anyway. And I'm sure your fans want to hear it. So I think that sounds about right in terms of a scoop. Nick, Tom, do either of you have anything to say to start us off before I let you go to the metaphysical green room to have your meditation and have some snacks?
I'm super excited to be here, and the only thing that I'm more excited about hearing than my own voice is the stylings of Tom Compton. So thank you, Barry.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Well, I will then send you both down to the zone of relaxation. Let's call it that. And the order will be as you see it on screen here tonight. So Nick, I will see you soon, and Tom, see you soon-ish. All right. And those guys are so happy to be free, at least temporarily. And I, as I say every month, I'm really pleased to be back. My favorite thing every month is doing Folk You. And I don't think I fully went into it in the intro there, but I think I got about a third of the way through these pandemic shows, and I started thinking, there's we've always doing this show for 21 years. I've had performers coming from other parts of the country, other parts of the world, and of course a lot of it had to do with had everything to do with their tour schedules. And so I started thinking, this is like a great opportunity for me to make a special outreaches to people that are not in the Chicago area, and to see if they would like to perform. Laura Fernandez, who lives in Toronto, was here. Wow, I don't think it was last month. I think it was the month before. And she's someone who I, had in mind for years and kept thinking, well, hopefully next time she comes through town. But so Nick from California is a great chance to have him back. And I love Tom's stuff. So I'm so happy that he could do this as well. All right, so let me get myself up here because whether you like it or not, am your opener here tonight. And as I said in the intro as well, if you're unfamiliar with this kind of thing, everyone's going to be back 3 times. So you're going to get to see everybody 3 times during the evening. And I'm going to start with a song that is, I have a band called The Injured Parties. We have 2 albums out, and we have a 3rd one that is earmarked to start recording sometime this year. Since we're almost halfway through, we better, get gigging, as we say. And this is one song that's going to be on it. It's called Victor's Gonna Vape. And at one point I had I had was playing it, or at least sometimes playing it, was under the title Sean's Got a Vape because of Sean Hannity, and there was some viral footage of him vaping away madly, and he's a real dickweed, and so I thought I tweaked the lyrics a little bit for Sean, but I also felt like he didn't deserve any more attention, so it's back to Victor. So anyway, this should be on the third Injured Parties album, and hope you like it. The album and the song. Victor's Gonna Vape. Who's that boy with clouds in his mouth? Opens it up and junk comes pouring out. Can't see his face hidden behind the screen. A fruity formaldehyde and nicotine. Victor's gonna vape. There he goes, turning it on. There he blows. It's not peer pressure that makes him puff, and he only vapes until he's vaped enough. It's a delicate buzz, it's a sublime high. Smoke rising up like cherubs to the sky. Victor's gonna vape, he can't stop. Hit after hit, till he drops. Back in Shenyang in 2003, a Chinese pharmacist made a discovery. All that e-liquid has flooded the globe. We're surfing a tsunami of particulate smoke. Victor's gonna vape. There he goes, turning it on. There he blows. Victor's gonna vape. He can't stop. Hit after hit, till he drops. Yes. Oh, digital applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so Victor's gonna vape whether he wants to or not. And, as I'm playing that song, I'm trying to think. I just saw, I'm a pretty inveterate ingester of popular culture. And I don't know if it was like a TV show, something streaming or even on networks, or if it was a movie. But there's some character I saw recently who was this, vapor. And I thought, I was watching it and thinking, was that the actor's choice, to make them this kind of, and of course, this has no real context without me being able to name the movie or the show or the person, but there's just something about how they vaped is the character that was really quite, annoying / fascinating. As I find the whole concept of vaping to be kind of, annoying / fascinating. But anyway. Saturday is Father's Day, and my dad's been gone for a long time. And it's interesting, month to month when I sit down and I'm like, whoa, what am I going to play this month? And the idea of trying not to repeat certain things, or maybe wanting to play something again. But as I've been taking an inventory, especially over this pandemic era of the show, I'm realizing I don't maybe have a lot of real personal songs. They're more persona songs, and even this one just kind of gets somewhat close to the idea of like cracking the Larry O'Dean egg, the oov. I mean, it's not that I'm inherently fascinating anyway, but so a song like this, I know Father's Day is coming up, and I thought about this one, and I thought, yeah, I should play it, because when I do play it, I do think of my dad, and I like I said, he's been gone for a long time, and in some ways I just didn't know him that well, and I feel bad about that. And this also displays my, literary pretenses, since it's named after literary work. It's also from this, which was the first album by a band I was in called Post Office. This came out, in the 90s. Remember the 90s? Public Displays of Affection, and this was the penultimate song on that album. See, I'm throwing around these fancy terms here. And it's called Can't Go Home Again. Forgive me, Father, was it something that I said? My words mean nothing now that you're dead. I often think of you behind the wheel of your car, but memories can drive us just so far, and you can't go home again, and you can't go home again, or you can't go home again, and you can't go home again. Every ex-best friend, all my former flames, places I grew up in, whoever knew my name, a ghost haunting me daily with visions of the past. We don't live in the present, 'cause the present doesn't last, 'cause you can't go home again. Yes, you can't go home again, or you can't go home again, or you can't go home again. Bacon, and we write the checks, spending thrifty lives, living close to the vest. It gives us some small comforts, balancing the books when the streets are so chaotic and the kitchen's full of cooks, that you can't go home again. No, you can't go home again. No, you can't go home again. Oh, you can't go home again. No. Whew. That deserves one of these.
A nice resolution chord.
Well, yes, I could have left it hanging, but I thought, no way, no way. Wow. So, Nick, great to have you.
Glad to be here.
As I said, perhaps, not the most eloquently in the beginning, I started realizing that there were, certain people that I should be reaching out to in particular. And you've been on the list for a long time. And, of course, in other cases, it just wasn't reasonable unless you were going to be coming back through town. But
I mean, believe me, I was kissing your ass in the years I lived in Chicago and couldn't get anything back then. So I don't know what I did right in Pasadena 15 years later, but I'm glad I finally got my way in.
It worked out. I'm glad it did. And I'm glad you're excited to do it. And I'm looking forward to hearing you again. Everything's treating you well out there. And I lived in San Francisco for a long time. I think you knew that. Maybe not.
I don't know if I did. I knew you lived in Flint. I don't know that I knew you lived on the Bay Area also.
Yeah, the Flint and Bay Area combination usually kind of cancel each other out. I think there's like some sort of social dissonance that occurs with that comes up. But yeah,
well,
Michigan to California and then California to here.
Yep, I had a similar thing. Virginia to California to Chicago and back to California. But no, I love it here. My wife is here. My family's here. I'm just, I've missed my Chicago people, but I'm really happy here.
Yeah. So you were born in Virginia.
Yeah, that's right. In Richmond.
Oh, in Richmond. Okay. My dad was speaking of my dad, was in the Air Force. So for a very brief time, we were in Hampton.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah, for a year. I don't know what air base is near there. I can't remember, but that was, and that's why we were there. There were a couple of years, and then we were in California when I was a kid too. But we were in Vacaville.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
Which I realized later was Cowtown. And I thought, oh, that's beautiful. We were in Cowtown. But I was a little kid. So, I mean, my memories are pretty, filtered through kid memories at that time. So I usually, happy to bring it up, but it's mainly, that's the Flint has a way of kind of like crusting over everything. So starting there,
I have a lot of family
coming back.
So that's where that really stood out to me. That was always memorable to me because I have a ton. Some of them might be watching this. Ton of family from there.
Wow. Well, I think I've already said far too much, and this is your time to shine. So I'm going to vamoose, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you got.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me here. Folks, for those of you who showed up, I'm so glad to be here playing for you. I'm glad to get to meet Tom Compton and just really psyched to be playing. So this first song is answering a question that nobody asked. The question being, is it fun to date you? And the answer is not remotely. And the song is called Halfway. Studied the theater and you got all your headshots, but then you stayed in your hometown and you basically got lost. When you tell me you're going somewhere, I know you'll get halfway there, so I'll meet you there. You were born on the same day as Thomas Aquinas. The sun shone bright, birds sang, and butterflies flew from your mother's vagina. When you tell me that you're a saint, I know you exactly ain't, so I'll lay you down. I'll lay you down, lay you down. Sleep in bed, book get lost inside your head. You look homely when you are wasted all alone, and I'm alone. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you see that you love me, when I know that you're lonely, you say you can never be single. That's when I know that you're going to show me. When you tell me that you're done, I know that you're going out dating someone, so I'll lay you down. I'll lay you down. I'll lay you down for now. now. Thank you. I'm going to assume that you're all applauding so hard that you're raising blisters on your hands, and for that I thank you. What I might say is that you don't have to go that hard. Just tell every one of your friends about the magic that you've seen here tonight. Just hold your applause and do it for something that will help. This next song is a request for those who had it. It is a song I wrote about a David Mamet play. The play is called The Water Engine, and the song is called The Ballad of Charles Lang, and it's about a person who invents an engine that runs only on water and all of his misadventures thereafter. What would you do if you woke up one day thinking a thought, a way to change the world and free us from slavery? A simple plan to change our water to combustible fuel. Engine gurgles into life and we're changing. Let me tell you what to do. I'd steal a bunch of tools and hammer out the details in a basement somewhere. I'd emerge when I was done with blueprints in my hands. I'd set on my way to change the course of man. But you know what they say. You know what they say. Suddenly you're flipping switches and the thing comes to life. You're intoxicated, all the new power. You're the first one who can see the future coming so fast. It's the dawn of time and this is your hour. Let me tell you what to do. I'd get myself a lawyer, solidify a deal to keep my property safe. Then I'd buy myself a farm and raise a bunch of dogs. A bed where I can sleep like a log. But you know what they say. You know what they say. You can't trust a man as far as you can throw him these days. Never make a deal you seal with a handshake. You were making plans to change the world with freshwater fuel. Now they're dragging your corpse from the lake. Let me tell you what I do. I break the thing apart, return the tools and fill the tank with gas, and I run as far as I could go. Chicago isn't safe, the planet isn't ready for us anyway. You know what they say. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, your headliner, Tom Compton.
Oh, no. I'm not the headliner. We are brothers in song. And thank you, Nick. That was that's definitely the best song I've ever heard about hydrocombustible engines. Up here, all the others. Great stuff. I love the energy and the quirkiness. It's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So, yes, as Larry said, I am in the Chicago area. If you hear planes flying overhead, it's not my fault. They put this runway in after I bought the house here. So I'm going to do a couple of songs that, as pretentious as it sounds, are from an album that I'm working on. And it's a concept album. So I know it sounds pretentious, but bear with me. This is a song called Crazy Grateful. Yeah, I was carrying the reminders like a change of seasons in a day. The sun that goes up to the dark side comes back again onto this way. Come to see that there are moments shining neon to my soul. Brings the joy to all that's precious. Makes the diamonds out of coal. I've been given oh so much. Open my eyes, it's there to touch. Abundant showers down from above. I am grateful, crazy grateful. I'm grateful for your love. I'll beg you for forgiveness for my stumbles on the path. There are things that I sure regret, but I cannot get them back. When you bathe inside your mercy, I can smile and face the day. 'Cause the moment ever new now recommences as we say. I've been given oh so much. Open my eyes, it's there to touch. Abundant showers down from above. I am grateful, crazy grateful. I'm grateful for your love. I'm grateful, crazy grateful. I'm grateful for your love. I'm grateful, crazy grateful. I'm grateful for your love. Thank you, everybody. A little behind the scenes, about 30 minutes before this happened, I broke a string. So I have a new set of strings. And I could just hear there are 2 or 3 of them in their own little stratosphere right now. So I'm going to do a quick retune. It's going to take like 5 seconds. There it is. There it is. That A string's about a quarter step low right there. All right. Next, I'm going to do another song from the album. This is called Picking Up the Pieces. I'm going to slow it down a little if you want to dance with your lady. Turn the lights down. Here we are, picking up the pieces. Push past the fear, what releases is taking on a task where the truth becomes unmasked. Freeze a flash flood as it unfreezes. Dreams left to fade away, lit in the sunlight of a new day. Shifted, shaped, shown for new. Re-emerging, evaporating, morning dew. Eye to eye with a modicum of respect. searching for answers, racing neck and neck. Win or lose is not involved, so problems might just end up solved when what you give is what you get. Forgiveness lifts the heavy chain, backing up, born again. Favorite found, finally renewed, reinvigorating words like I love you. So here we are, picking up the pieces, push past the fear of what releases is taking on a task where the truth becomes a mask. Freeze the flash flood as it unfreezes. I'm gonna try and hit the high harmonic here, so give me. Ah, missed it. Missed it. There it is. There it is. Thank you, everybody.
I wanted that harmonic to ring out as long as it
So
possibly.
did I.
And in truth, too, part of me was thinking, okay, the harmonic. Now, is there going to be more? You know what I mean? It's just, but
Yes, there's a prelude to an epilogue to a coda.
yes, exactly. Wow, songwriting 102 right there. Not even 101, my man.
There we go.
Sounded good. Yeah, I
Thank
have to admire the smoothness with which you would deal with the tuning. You know, for that seems to be the one thing that is so incapacitating often. If you don't have somebody right off to the side who can just hand you another guitar, or if you don't have a bunch of them all laid out for you, you know, ready to go.
And my roadie's on strike with the Writers Guild, so.
And with UPS.
Yes.
Soon to be UPS, I think.
What can
Yeah,
Rob
no,
do for you?
sounds great. And are those both new?
Relatively new, yes. I've been working on this album for a long time. So yeah, within the last year and a half. So
yeah. Is this they're both from the concept
from
album?
the concept album.
Yeah.
Dark Side of My Mind.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, I hope that is the title. That's evocative. No, but so glad to have you back. And those were great, man. I also like the sound of your room right there. You know, the interesting thing about this is sometimes people come super prepared. Now, me, I do add like a little outboard mic, although I don't really know if it improves on my Max mic. Probably not. Makes me feel better. But it's like some people, they really get super prepared, and it's like you and then Nick, we're both. It looks like we're all kind of playing it, you know, pretty unencumbered.
We're going very loose.
Yeah, exactly. You really hear the sound of the room, and yours has this nice woody tone to it without any airplane yet. So,
yes.
you know, mentioning that.
I've put in a request for them to go around.
Well, I was going to say, now I'm kind of dying to hear the sonic boom over, but you know, maybe not. All right. Well, yeah, fingers crossed. So I'm sure you want to take a breather. Again, I really appreciate having you here. Glad to have you classing up the night. So we'll see you again in a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks. Sounds good indeed. Yes. So first pass, everyone's, outclassing me, which is just the way I like it. And, I'm getting the vestiges of the late afternoon. I'm not, really much of a summer guy. In the ratings of the seasons, summer is my least favorite. Mainly because I don't like the heat. I can certainly live with the heat, being a native-born Midwesterner, but native-born, does that make sense? I think it does. But I do like the longer days, and so I was able to open the blinds up a little bit more and take advantage of the natural light. Well, it is natural light, as opposed to the whatever I normally do that passes for lighting for these shows. So that said, once again, thanks to Tom, thanks to Nick. Looking forward to hearing more from them. Thanks to anyone else that is out there. I should say everyone else that's out there. The next song I'm going to do is another. That first one is not yet recorded. This next one has been recorded by my current band, The Injured Party. So I mentioned this is our most recent album, and the song I started with tonight is going to be from the album that follows this one, Product Placement. And this was, in fact, I had to check here, the leadoff track on it. The whole art of putting an album together is interesting, I think, unless, like Tom, you have a concept album. where I shouldn't have put it that way, because actually, it's true. If you have an album that's based around an idea, you might have like a narrative flow or a certain idea of coherence from the get-go. But mostly, in my experience, putting albums together is kind of like, all right, what songs are we going to do for the album? And then, what order are they going to go in? And one thing there's different schools of thought behind, starting with a song that really is, peppy right out of the gate. Although I would say starting with Pale Blue Eyes was a, brilliant move for the Velvet Underground on that album. But I think the first song should, in some ways, introduce you or the band, or give us a snapshot of what you're all about. So I think this one does that, and also works in the peppy mode. It's called "Got a Tattoo," and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And again, from the Injured Parties to you, "Got a Tattoo." Gonna piss off the parents, gonna make them squirm, gonna disappoint them, gonna make them learn. They think they know everything, but I know stuff too. And down to the mall, got myself a tattoo. Got a tattoo. Got a tattoo. Got a tattoo. I got a tattoo. Joined a band, make lots of noise, and the neighbors complain when we jam with our toys. But something was missing, and those feelings grew, till our bass player said, "Let's all get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos. All get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos. Let's all get tattoos." It's something so simple, just pictures on skin, but you can really change the person within. When I get older, might get a wife, work lots of jobs to get by in this life. But if I should live to 102, never be alone with all my tattoos. tattoos, with all my tattoos, all my tattoos, all my tattoos, all my tattoos. Get a tattoo. I got a tattoo. So I frequently employ that last little skronk there jokingly, but that one seemed like it had to happen. The song that kind of wrote itself right there. All right. So the next one I'm going to do is, after this beveraging again, keeping the pipes clear, is called Q's Gone Dark, and that's the letter Q. And this is going to be on the new Injured Parties album. Q as in QAnon. So if you're keeping score, keep that in the back of your head. Q's Gone Dark. Q's gone dark. It's wait and see while I'm stocking shelves at the Piggly Wiggly. Q's gone dark, but when he's back, I got sticks and stones for the big attack. Q's gone dark, it'll be a little while before we root out more cannibalistic pedophiles. Q's gone dark. It's not just me. The word got heard over in Germany. Kroger Karen's here. Whitefish Karen too. And she's been in touch with a few boogaloos. Q's gone dark, please don't panic. Every Democrat's not a closet satanic. Q's gone dark, but he's got a plan. The storm is brewing from inside of a van, parked in the lot of Area 51, where he mops the halls and scrapes up gum. Q's gone dark at Pizza Parlor. Patriots like me will make the cabal holler. Q's gone dark, please don't panic. Every Democrat's a closet satanic. Yes. Thank you. Well, I don't have to do that this time. No.
No, I got you, Larry. As long as you're doing one of the 5 chords I know.
Oh.
I got your resolution to every song. No problem.
Well, you got to have E is in everybody's outbox, I think. So their inbox, I guess, would be more like it. Yeah. So
that's right.
Thanks for covering me.
Anytime.
Appreciate it. So you sounded really terrific before, man. Again, looking forward to hearing more from the Bognar Oeuvre.
Thank you. I'm happy to show it to you. And I just want to say, I don't know who Kristen Wenning is, but she's blowing up the chat, and I love it. It was supposed to speak to an enthusiastic audience member, as is perceptible during a show like this. So
yeah, I've been noticing that too. She must be a Comptonophile, or else somebody who just wandered in from the great beyond. But yes, she's been saying some very nice stuff. So Kristen, officially, thank you so much.
You know what they say about Chicago? You can't throw a hot dog without hitting a Tom Compton head. You know what I mean? Like they fucking love him out there.
That is so true. I was going to wear my T-shirt that said that, but I thought, you know what, might be too much, and I didn't want to like. At least I could change into it now, but yeah, it's in the laundry.
You got to play it cool. Yeah, he picks up on stuff like that, so you got to play it
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. You don't want to give him too much. You know what I'm saying? Keep him honest.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of folks from go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, speaking of folks that I knew in Chicago that I love, my song here that I'm going to play was co-written by me and my drummer. And I will tell you, I virtually never co-write with anybody. And yet he helped me craft this song for a movie called Ninjas vs. Zombies. And this song actually also happens to be called Ninjas vs. Zombies. And I have to say, I wrote 3 different songs for the Ninjas vs. franchise. And of all of them, this was the one that people really liked. So I have to think it was the Michael Roth difference that made this song a cut above the rest. So Mike, if you're Mike, if you're out there, I love you, and you can sing along.
Ooh, let me extricate myself officially. Here we go. Up, ha.
That's so Larry to just walk out in the middle of
this. I brought Tom in. I'm totally losing it here. All right, I'm extricating myself now.
All right, this is called Ninjas vs. Zombies. Outside, people look at me blankly. Frankly, it's making me cranky, but I can't live in fear. Sorry, I'm leaving for the dojo. Would you please wear my showbo and wait for me right here? It's sword fights versus last rites versus warriors in black tights versus scary bumps at midnight versus you. No laughs, just throwing stars and bow staffs. Lettuce, chirashi, and snow crabs, and silently I tread. Mindless, but is their libation? They've got no motivation, except what's in my head. It's black belts versus brain dead versus ancient Eastern jarhead versus not quite yet departed versus you. Baby, missing you is like a crane kick to the face. But I can't come home till the scourge has been erased. Give me one last kiss, don't let this moment go to waste. 'Cause I can hear the slackers making haste. Outside, people look at me blankly. Frankly, it's making me cranky. A violent dead Wild West. I'll come back when the mission is over and they're sleeping under the clover and we can finally rest. 'Cause it's ninjas versus zombies versus ninjas versus zombies versus ninjas versus zombies versus you. thank you so much for that. Ninjas versus Zombies, the song featured in the movie of the same name. And the next song that I want to play is a song called Pink Lungs that I also recorded with Michael Roth. We recorded it at a place called Flashpoint. That was a wonderful media school in Chicago that recorded this for free. And I will always remember that at one point I was sitting in the control room with all of the students and the teacher, and Mike was doing some backing vocals, and he said, I want to try something back here. And I said, go ahead and try it. And he sings this backup part that's so perfect, like just so exactly what the song needed, which honestly is kind of what I would remember him for. Like he always kind of knew what a song needed. And he sings this backup part, and it's so great. And then we stopped the mic, and he says, so what did you think? And I turned the mic on, and I said, okay, we'll think about it. Let's get one more take of it. And then I turned the mic off and said to the students, of course, that's perfect, and we're going to use it, but he's a drummer, and you can never, ever let them learn to overestimate their value in the band. And Elle looked so upset, like they didn't get that it was a joke. So anyway, Mike, thanks for that. Thanks for this. And this is called Pink Lungs. Well, the sun comes up almost half the time, and the rain falls down and drops the size of dimes, and the birds sing frightened songs. Awake to hear my neighbors fucking in the dawn, and I wonder what planet they're on. 'Cause I do need you so much, need me, and I do miss my pink lungs, and I miss your white teeth saying slowly, I think we made it through, but mostly I just miss you. Well, the business world can never accrue enough, and the creditors, they're doing predator stuff, and there's 2 clocks that I own. One tells me when work begins, and one tells me I'm through, and their hands would stop moving if you tell them to. And I do need you so much to leave me, and I do miss my pink lungs, and I miss your white teeth saying slowly, I think we made it through, mostly I just miss you. When we're fighting, and we fight constantly, I still love you more than you have ears to see. When you're with me, you're with me in my heart. I'm floating, I'm flipping. Well, I wash my face and button up my shirt. For all our lives, we will always have to work. But there's one thing I will ask. Stay close to me, come back to me. 'Cause I do need you so much, need me, and I do miss my pink lungs, and I miss your white teeth saying slowly, I think we made it through, mostly I just miss you. Thank you. Hey! Tom Compton with the assist.
That's how we should be passing the baton this evening. Great song, Nick.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it, man.
Al, can I ask who won? Ninjas, Zombies, or is that a spoiler?
I don't feel like I'm spoiling much when I say that the ninjas win. I mean, I think you have to know that because they don't recruit a whole new group of ninjas for each movie. So I think I'm safe telling you that the ninjas win.
All right.
Close.
All right. Good to know. All right. I am going to do an older song, but it's fun to play. And then that's really enough of a reason to play it. So this is called Spoke Too Soon. Spoke too soon and I said too much. Things fell last, fell apart in one touch. Caught bad luck on an ill-timed punch. Lost it all, even lost my lunch. Lightning Lord, buzz me again. I can mount the assault, but I just can't win. That face value, that devalued again. Fading away like a Cheshire grin. 'Cause I spoke too soon and I said too much. Things fell last, fell apart in one touch. Caught bad luck on an ill-timed punch. Lost it all, even lost my lunch. What it's worth has been written down. Like a 4-star review inside a PS car. Read between the lines, find the doggone truth. Floating in the pool like a baby Ruth. 'Cause I spoke too soon and I said too much. Things that last fell apart in one touch. Caught bad luck on an ill-timed punch. Lost it all, even lost my lunch. It's too late to shut my mouth. Cat's out of the bag. Duct tape might have done the trick. Now there's nothing left again. 'Cause I spoke too soon and I said too much. Things that last fell apart in one touch. Caught bad luck on an ill-timed punch. Lost it all and lost my lunch. Spoke too soon and I said too much. He fell apart after just one touch. Spoke too soon and I said too much. All right, that is the theme of the evening. You can't even spell it. It's just that noise. All right, so I'm going to do a song here because it is Father's Day weekend. And the last time I played Folk U at Sylvie's Lounge, it was around the same time that my father passed away. And I played a song that night that I honestly cannot, it was very emotional and I can't even play it again. But in the subsequent years, I have another song that my dad is a part of, and it's a part of like people, losing people at various levels. And my dad was definitely in mind when I wrote this. And part of it is, I remember reading, there was, somebody said like, within the course of a year, the bodies or the cells in your body are replaced by new cells. So I'm picturing the old cells just floating off into the ether, and yet we stay the same person. So this is a song with a long intro called Inhale You. It's the air that generates us. It's the air that has us once removed. And as the air regenerates us, it's busy lifting up the moon. Distance has no meaning. Temporary nature that it has. Separation so redeeming. Future's rolling backwards to the past until we meet again. And we're bonded skin to skin. As I'm breathing out and breathing in, inhaling you. Inhale you. Time is an illusion, a moment's gap, recoiling in. Time's eternity's confusion, going back to when it all begins, until we meet again. And we're bonded skin to skin. As I'm breathing out and breathing in, I inhale you. I inhale you. Look up to the sky, moon dancing with the clouds rolling by. Not one thing I would deny, gets me high. No, you're not. Until we meet again. And we're bonded skin to skin. As I'm breathing out and breathing in, I inhale you. I inhale you. Wait for it.
Oh,
Sorry.
I tried to think of which chord would be least appropriate for that one there. And I came up with this like J95, whatever. I don't know who, God knows what it is. Ah,
Oh,
there we
you're
go.
going jazzy on me.
Well, it's about as jazzy as I get right there. So,
Got to pull it out when you got it.
well, and this is the perfect time, I think, right?
Smoke it if you got it. Vape it if you got it.
Once again, sir, nicely done.
Thank you.
Both sounded great.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I don't know if I'd heard that one before.
No,
You know,
it's
you said,
very rarely played publicly.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Whatever that
fortunate,
means.
fortunate for us. Yeah. Nice.
It's a deep cut.
Well,
I like, see, that's my thing. All my songs are deep cuts.
that was the other Tom Compton T-shirt that I was going to wear.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I should mention there are like 3 other famous Tom Comptons. There's an NFL player who did play for the Bears. But he doesn't anymore. He was in the Super Bowl when he was on the Atlanta Falcons. So there's that guy. There's a Tom Compton that played drums for Johnny Winter in the 1980s. And I went to see Johnny Winter at the Vic, and I was on drums, and it was like an out-of-body experience. And
It's like as you walk through the door, you just kind of merged with the other Tom Compton. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was like the multiverse.
Suddenly you're behind the drums, and you're like, "What the hell?" And you were right in the song, and you just
I don't even play drums, and there I was.
You do now. Yeah.
And then there's a Tom Compton who is the president of the National Hot Rod Association. So I'm the 4th most famous Tom Compton.
Well,
I'm trying to climb the ranks.
You're in pretty good company there. I mean, for the sake of the show, we're putting you number 1, but I don't know. We're gonna have to have some arm wrestling or something for some of the other TCs in that bunch.
I once had a woman messaging me who thought I was the drummer.
You certainly took that to its penultimate.
I thought I had a really big fan, and then I was like, oh wait. No wonder. No wonder.
I don't get too many. I don't get too many Larry. Part of the reason why I put the O in there at one point was not to distinguish me from. I mean, you're not asking, but it just brings to mind the O stands for nothing. You know, my parents. But it is a middle initial. It is my middle initial. It's just an initial. It doesn't stand for anything.
Right.
It stands for O, so I guess it doesn't stand for nothing. It just stands for O. But so I made it a point pretty early on of using the O, because when I was younger, I think I wasn't thrilled about the O, but I wasn't. I got over that pretty quickly. I kind of started to realize it was just weird to have it, and so I wanted to keep it as part of the motif. But I haven't had that many other Larry Deans to disassociate myself from. I know that, speak of the devil, there's a football player, and he plays in some minor league player, I think. And there was an actor, Larry Dean, through the I think through the 60s, I think he has credits or whatever, you know, so not a contemporary. Right. So I guess maybe it was a good thing that I threw the O in there. But I all that said, I really can't, none of them hold a candle to your Tom Compton's.
Thank you.
So not only am I jealous of your prowess and your string changing abilities, but your other Comptons have made me. I'm quadra jealous.
Right, we're a team.
Damn you. All right, and on that note, I will try to cease embarrassing myself with my bon mots, and I will let you relax again. Looking forward to your final pass. All right. I guess the embarrassing is kind of is over with. And it's so, perfect that after my last set, which wasn't all that long ago, talking about how wonderful it is, we're entering into the summer months, although I think not officially yet, right? But and how late the days are, and all of a sudden, you can see the blue light of the sun having gone down and the lights of the city coming in. Please, no Journey references meant there. Please, no Journey references. But nonetheless, I'm glad to have the outside light and now a little bit more artificial light here. Okay, none of that matters. I got one last song here, and then we get on to the classier stuff. And this is I'm going to end with a song that is not earmarked for the Injured Parties album, not yet been recorded. When I was thinking of looking at the songs that could possibly, talking before with Tom last time about the, sequencing an album, and or was that, or that was Nick, I think, but and how sometimes you kind of have a sense of an overarching theme or whatever, and then in the case here, just songs come out and they may seem to be kind of disparate until you look at them and you realize, wait a minute, a couple of these are about this same thing. And so sometimes that becomes somewhat of an organizing principle when you're deciding to put a new album together. But for this one, it was one that I thought, well, would this be something I could do on the Injured Parties record? And it just didn't make the personal cut, which doesn't mean that it couldn't be something that the band would do, because we've done, a lot of, I think a pretty good variety of songs. It's not like that's not death metal enough or whatever. But this one just didn't make the cut, is what I'm trying to say. So maybe it'll be on a solo record. Maybe it will never be recorded. Somehow I think it will make it to some kind of semi-permanent version at some point. And it was inspired by mishearing the title of Neil Diamond's Solitary Man. I mean, a song I've known for a long time, but it was playing on the radio and I heard them announce it and I said, wait, did he say Sedentary Man? And so that's what this song is called, Sedentary Man. Hope you like it. Sit all day, night. And people who know me don't know my true height. Sitting on my can, on a chair or the couch, looking at life from a kangaroo pouch. I sit on the bus when I get a seat. I ease my knees and free my feet. And on the job, I stay put in my chair. Whether I'm over here or over there, a sedentary man, a sedentary man, a sedentary man. I used to run, jump, jog, and leap, and on all fours sometimes I'd creep. Bodies in motion become bodies at rest. Now that I'm still, life is the best. A sedentary man, a sedentary man, a sedentary man. No more hubbub, no hustle or flow. There's no destination where I long to go. From my window, I see the street, watching the people mingle and meet. I turn away and close my eyes, picturing myself flying through the skies. A sedentary man, a sedentary man, a sedentary man, a sedentary man.
Thank you, Larry. What a fun
Thank
song.
you so much. Hold on one second here.
Okay.
Okay. Little technical finesse I had to work there.
If you don't have your theme yet, I think your theme should be all songs that I wrote after mishearing Neil Diamond. Okay? Just put a Neil Diamond CD on super soft and say, you know, Sweet Clementine. Wow,
Well,
it's never seemed so good, and then just go from there.
that could be something you could do with a cross promotion with Orange Company, right?
Oh, isn't that the dream? I'm just waiting to be able to write something that I can sell out to some Orange Company, and don't think I won't take that money, because I will.
Well, the citrus industry has been looking for something, and I think they've been looking for Nick Bognar.
Believe it or not, there was this wonderful metal band from Hollywood named Raising Suns that actually got featured in an orange juice commercial years back, and they were so good in it. It was like one of these bands that was so crazy and so fun to watch on stage. And their thing was the kid was waking up for breakfast and Raising Suns was playing on his bed and jumping around. And it was like one of those rare things where you go like, you always expect that they're going to fuck up the band that you love when they subject them to a commercial, but they just captured it perfectly.
Well, just hearing the kind of band that it is and that particular melding sounds to me like that's perfect anyway. Like I don't even need to see the ad, right?
Yes.
I take it that was only. I mean, now of course you can see almost anything on YouTube if people post it, but that was just a local. They're just like a local act.
No,
is that it?
Yeah, I mean they were local to Hollywood, except for when Big Orange Juice picked them up and then made the national. For a minute.
Big Orange Juice. I like that. It's like Big Tobacco versus Big Orange Juice. I know who'd win in that particular fight. Well, I will once again make myself scarce, but and I'll save all the big, verbal hugs for the end. But so glad you could do this. Your stuff's been great. Lots of great comments about it over here, but I'm thoroughly enjoying hearing you again.
That's awesome, Larry. Thank you so much for putting me on here. Tom, this is your 3-minute call that you're going to need to de-chord at the ready to resolve this song for me. And this is a song that my mom requested, and I'm happy to fulfill it because I think it's the best song I ever wrote, and it's called Tired. You build the buildings for me to jump off of. I promise to scale all the heights. You spend your days at work earning us money. I'll find ways to waste it at night. We can rot here and grow mushrooms. There's nothing better to do. You've grown out of me. And I am tired of you. Drove our car in the ocean in Venice with all our hope locked in the trunk. Stayed up on uppers for 3 days in Silver Lake and punished it with a mean drunk. We could cook a meth up until we explode. That would be Hollywood cool. 'Cause you've grown out of me. And I am tired of you. So tired of jabbing when I think you're not looking, and tired of taking these shots to the gut. Tired of tripping on something and not knowing what. Well, thanks for the sun, the sand and the cancer. Thanks for the gloom in the skies. Thanks for the stars that I served all those drinks to. And thanks for the stars in your eyes. We do all our rocking and rolling in chairs, tan in a bright sunny tomb. You've grown out of me. And I am tired of you. I am tired of you. Tom? Thank you so much. I knew you'd show up and rescue me.
I just happened to be doing a song in D, so I have the D harmonica. This is like meant to be. That was awesome.
This is the truth. If you ever need it, Tom has the D for you.
The sunny D. Staying on theme at all times. That was awesome, Nick.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to mention is I always feel like I look like Darth Vader dying with this thing. Tell your sister you were right. I should do that as a song.
You should.
All right. Well, so also I would be remiss not to give a shout out to my good friend Kristen Wenning, who is blowing up the chat. Kristen, an awesome human being, and glad that you are here with us this evening. So I'm going to stay in the key of D, sonically pleasing, the happiest of all keys, unlike D minor, the saddest. So this is a song I thought is good to end on. My favorite record this year is the Band of Heathens' Simple Things. And the last song on the record is called All That Remains. And so I was like, my song is nothing like that. But thematically, I was like, that song is just like my song. All there is love. No, love is all there is. Anyway, I think this is called Love Is All There Is. I'll know when I get to the line. All there is love. All there is love. When push comes to shove, all there is love. Castles will fall. Castles will fall after hosting the ball. Castles will fall. Dreams they will fade. Dreams they will fade like sugar in lemonade. Dreams they will fade, 'cause love is all there is. Love is all there is, like a lingering kiss. Love is all there is. Dreams they will fade. Dreams they will fade like sugar in lemonade. Dreams they will fade, 'cause love is all there is. Love is all there is, like a lingering kiss. Like a lingering kiss. Slowly blow up the energy there, but I had to do it.
I like that connective motif, which is probably, I think it's all my fault with those little like rockin' finales there.
It's a bonding experience.
I feel better for it. I feel smarter for it. I feel closer for it. I feel less ashamed for it. And let the list continue. Yes. So
release your inner Pete Townsend.
Well, I think that's kind of the bottom line there, right? You know, I remember, again, like for what it's worth, I love the Who, you know, when I was younger, and I remember reading that he used like a really heavy gauge of string, you know. I don't remember what it was, probably like 40s, you know, it's something like that. I remember saying, yeah, okay, I'm going to try those. Not a good idea. Whatever it was, as a person who now is either light or medium gauge, I wouldn't really recommend it, you know, for most players.
Arms for that.
What was that?
I don't have the fingers and arms for that. That must have been punishing.
Yeah. I think the thing would be where you would develop very different fingers and arms for it, probably like a torso of like some sort of a wrestling torso.
Yeah, you gotta work out more.
And little nubby fingers, right? But yeah, be that as it may, I did not do it. So thank you so much to both of you for being here tonight. It's been a great show. And do either of you have anything in particular to plug? I know Tom. Whatever. Either of you have something you want to plug?
I'm playing the farmer's market tomorrow.
Say that
Come
again.
on the Northridge Farmer's Market and get some vegetables. And don't throw them at me.
No, this is a lovely return for me. This is my first time playing solo in a few years, certainly since before the pandemic. So it was wonderful to have an opportunity to be here, Larry. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Larry. Thank you.
Hey, of course. Are you both or are either of you attempting to play out more? I mean, or what's your feeling about the whole live gigging thing now? I mean, I know I mentioned at the beginning, I'm thinking, okay, I have a prospective date for going back to in person. I was masked up pretty much everywhere up till fairly recently, and then I just decided to make more forays back to whatever is reality. But how are you both feeling about that? Just out of curiosity.
I'd love to. Time is a challenge for me, so I can't play out as much as I used to, but I'm ready to go back and hoping to book one in the next couple months. Tom?
I am between bands. My bass player is a little older and has had 2 knee replacements, and he said I have to retire.
Oh,
my drummer is a doctor who has told me that he is just swamped right now. So I'm in the market, but yes, hopefully returning to full shows soon.
Yeah, I mean, I love doing band stuff. Obviously, I'm talking about having a band, and we're going to be doing this album. But I mean, your stuff stands up really excellently as solo performers. And when I first started this, I reached out to people that I knew that were great songwriters, but I always saw them in bands, and I knew the songs had to start prior to the band being part of it. And early on, there were a couple who were like definitely not comfortable with the idea because they had gotten used to being in front of a band, or that was always what they knew. But the song should always shine through. And it's interesting to hear the band versions of things, but you both really, your material holds up super well just on its own. So
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great lyrics, great singing, great playing. I mean, what the hell? All we need is that orange juice tie-in, and we'll all be set for life.
We'll be so rich.
What did you call it? Big Orange? Was that what it was? Yeah. So I've said this each time individually to you, but I will shut up now. And I will say thank you once more for being here tonight. And we'll have to do this again, however we can work it. Whether we go back or whenever I go back to doing the in-person show, I may still be doing these online versions as special events, or who knows, the pieces have yet to fall in place, but let's definitely do it again soon. So let's give a big hand to Tom Compton, Nick Bognar. Thank you so much for being here. So we will now give the official Folk You goodbye wave. And guys, hang in there, and we'll have our ritual prayer after we're done here. Thanks, everybody. See you next month.
Great to meet you.